Welcome back to Night Moves. I am Greg Keller, and joining me as always is Mark Padilla. And in today's episode, we're talking about Our Lady, our Heavenly Mother, the Virgin Mary, and how she intercedes on our behalf all the time. So let's step back. We were talking about Our Lady of the Pillar, or Our Lady of Pilar, in the last segment, and we're going to switch just slightly, and we're going to move forward to the year 1326. In a newly liberated area of central Spain, and that's between Spain and Portugal, known as Extremadura, something miraculous happened. A shepherd had an apparition of the most beautiful woman in dazzling white. She told him that she wanted her image to be exhumed and a church built on the site that she was at. The humble shepherd told the priest, and the priest unearthed a strongbox containing the image of Our Lady, along with a parchment containing details of its provenance and illustrious history. According to legend, it was an image painted by St. Luke of Our Lady. Some believe that it was Our Lady of Pilar. But how did it get in a strongbox and buried in the dirt in Extremadura? Well, in the 6th century, Pope Gregory the Great gave the image to the Bishop of Seville, St. Leander. When that city came under attack by the Moors in 711, Christians hastily buried her out of harm's way up in the hills near what would become known later as the Guadalupe River. And that Guadalupe River means hidden river, so it was an underground river that they knew about. After that image was exhumed and honored in a church, more miracles abounded as a result of it, including victory after victory against the Moors. This is believed to be the same image that was carried by the Holy League in its victory against the Moors in the Battle of Lepanto. And so we can talk about the Battle of Lepanto now, if you'd like.
Well, there's a lot to talk about there. So
there is.
You said this a couple times. Now you're an Alhambra guy, so
I am.
The public high school there is called Alhambra High School, and their mascot is the Moors.
The Moors,
which I find very interesting.
Yes.
But that's another story.
Right.
The Moors are Muslims.
They are.
Right. So from 711 to 1492, the Muslims had occupied Spain, or the Iberian Peninsula.
Correct.
711 is really just about 100 years from the time of Muhammad.
Correct.
So because of the teachings of that particular religion, they have jihad, right? So their thing is to conquer the world and spread Islam.
Correct.
And so they got into the Iberian Peninsula for, almost 800 years, so from 711 to 1492. 1492, of course, is the year of Columbus.
Correct.
So I think it was January 2nd that they had the final victory over the Muslims at the Alhambra.
Right.
There in Granada.
Granada, yes.
And so all of this is important historical stuff. So when the Muslims would come, or the Moors in this case, they would tear down all statues, right? Because they don't have statues in their faith. And they think that's false idols.
Particularly not of women.
Right, exactly. Although Mary is the only one, only female in the Quran mentioned by name.
Correct.
But nonetheless, they would tear down any statue and demolish it, right?
Correct.
And so what the Catholics would do is they would bury these statues to protect them and save them.
Right.
So it's this apparition to a shepherd that he finds this buried statue. And
right, there was no way he was going to know about it on his own. So Mary appears to him and says, "Hey, this is here. Dig it up and let's start over."
Right. So now, what's interesting, and I hope many of you caught out there, is it was by the river Guadalupe.
Correct.
Right, and so this area is called Extremadura, right?
Extremadura, yes.
Yeah, and it's got an image of Mary.
It does.
And I don't know if you're going to get into this yet, or if I want to say this, but Christopher Columbus,
yes,
went to this image and prayed prior to going on his voyage, and prior to getting okay from Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand,
exactly,
to pay for the trip. And this all happens about the same time.
Yeah. So the church that is built around this image or erected at the site is the location that Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand go to pray to Our Lady in thanksgiving for helping them defeat the Moors in Granada. So, and this is, they attribute this image, now whether it actually is Our Lady of the Pillar or some other image, it is still Our Lady. Mary, who comes under one of the titles of Queen of Victory. She is very instrumental when we ask for her intercession. And that's what this show is about, or this segment is about, is talking about the intercession of Mary. So Mary interceded on behalf of the Christians because she wants us to be victorious. She wants us to lead all of our brethren, whether they're Christians or not, lead them to Christianity and help them understand the one true faith.
Yes, very good. So I kind of went before your Battle of Lepanto, kind of went back a little bit to 1492. Okay. I don't know if you were going to head back there. So we're kind of...
We'll head back there later.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we're jumping back and forth in history here.
We are.
But, certainly we know in 1492, Columbus sails the oceans blue. In 1531, a generation later, 40 years, Our Lady of Guadalupe, Mexico, and El Tapayac comes to Juan Diego. Diego again, Juan Diego. There's that.
She comes once again to St. James.
Yeah, John James, right? So, which is kind of interesting, the brothers.
Yes.
And then also in the Battle of Lepanto, you have a banner with Our Lady of Guadalupe, Mexico, on it too. So, and that's Don Juan of Austria,
yes,
who's the admiral of the Holy League. You talked about the Holy League. So here we have Our Lady's intercession in all these different ways. It's incredible.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, so let's talk briefly about the Holy League. So October 7th, 1571, the Holy League, which is a patchwork fleet, it's of Catholic ships from Catholic countries, so Spain, Venice, and Genoa, under the command of Don Juan of Austria. They were facing the Ottoman Empire, that they're Moorish.
Well, they're the Turks.
Well, the Turks, yeah, okay. So they were all Muslim.
Right, they're all Muslim.
So they were facing this extremely large force, and a force that had never lost a naval conflict. The Ottoman Empire had not, to this point, lost any battle on the sea. And so, and they had a very large force, considerably larger than that of the Holy League, and they were heading towards Europe. They were just slowly advancing and taking everybody out. At that time, Pope Pius V, realizing that they had an advantage, called upon all of Europe to pray the rosary for victory. And once again, asking our mother for her intercession. So Christians across Europe gathered in villages and towns to pray as that battle waged, right? So it's going on. Everybody's at home praying the rosary, hoping for a good outcome. At the hour of the victory, the Pope, who happened to be in a meeting hundreds of miles away, suddenly got up from the meeting, walked over to an open window and exclaimed, "The Christian fleet is victorious.
Yeah.
They've won."
Right.
And, he was very thankful for that. So as a result, Mary was given the title, because of her intercession, the Queen of Victory.
Right. That's exactly right.
So, once again, he implored all Christians in Europe and within the sound of his voice, if you will, wherever his message was taken, to pray the rosary, to intercede on their behalf, and Mary responded, right? So, little tie-in here, Don Juan of Austria was the illegitimate brother of the Spanish king Philip II, who gave him that naval appointment. After the battle was won, Philip II, knowing his debt to the Virgin, offered to Our Lady of Guadalupe Once again, we see that. A lantern captured from one of the Turkish ships. In fact, it was the flagship of the Ottoman Empire. And he knew the power unleashed by that hidden river, Our Lady of Guadalupe, and was the reason why they were so successful, because they had sought the intercession of Mary, and in this case, it was Our Lady of Guadalupe. The image found in the field that they dug up, so which may have been the image of Our Lady of the Pilar.
Right.
So, but that's, some accounts say that it is, some accounts say that it isn't, but
it's Our Lady nonetheless.
it is Our Lady nonetheless, and that's I think that's the important takeaway here, is that it was, regardless of the attribute associated with Mary, whether it's Our Lady of Fatima, Our Lady of Guadalupe, it is still the Virgin Mary. It is our mother, Queen of the heaven, Queen of the angels, Queen of earth. She is our mother. And if we ask her intercession and we're sincere about it, we're going to get it.